That's right. This is Bad Weather Fans, episode number 309. Mike Biseglia, Alex Denesowitz. NBA free agency. It's on. Knicks lose Mitchell Robinson. He's going to the Boston Celtics, in division rival, while the Brooklyn Nets continue their free agency by signing guys that are average. But is that a good or bad thing? We'll debate. Just like I'm sure Nets Twitter has for the last 48 hours, you losers. Just kidding, guys. You guys are great. Alex, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Had a bit of a fall last night. I almost broke my foot, but I think I'm okay.
Uh-oh.
Not as bad as we were feeling earlier this week. Knicks fans when losing Mitchell Robinson. Not only we were mentally prepared to lose Mitchell Robinson, but losing him to the Celtics was a shock. Not only because he went to Boston, but because nobody reported that
Nope.
at all. Everything was Lakers or what was the other team?
The Nets a little
the,
bit.
the Nets a little bit, but there was another. I forgot the other team. Another team with cap space, and so you were like mentally preparing for that. You're like, all right, if he lands there, that would suck, but whatever, it's a business. But then going to the Celtics, it was total like a punch in the gut, and it made it worse. And I was heartbroken, man. And it sucked, but the more you see things come out, the more you kind of understand, and you try to put the pieces together. But
what are those?
well, just the hand thing, man. Maybe that was like a big thing because remember before the finals when he broke his hand or his finger or whatever it was, right. Mike Brown came out because in Game 4 of the Cavs series he hurt his hand and he was shaking his hand, so we all assumed like it was from it's from that. I mean that sucks, but then Mike Brown made a point to specifically say like, no, this happened off of the basketball court in a personal way, and I'll let him tell it. Basically, is what he said, and he looked pissed. But you had to keep it close to the vest because you didn't want to ruin the camaraderie of the team going into the NBA Finals. Like, you can swallow that for a little bit, like 2 weeks, and like hold on to that and see what happens. And, Mitch didn't play great in the finals, but he had the biggest offensive rebound, in Knicks history, maybe number 2 behind the OG Tippin, whichever one you want to debate. That clinched the finals. The other one basically did too. So whatever it is, I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of that, and it's like you got to pay Cat and Brunson in the next 2 years, and you don't know if they're going to take a discount, and they're obviously way more important. And then you'll have to go into the second apron to get those guys, and then if you're in the second apron for more than 1 year, then you start getting the penalties where you can't do things, not just tax. Like Dolan will pay the tax all day. It's more of like we can't do this for multiple years. So there's a lot of that. And then, I kind of had a theory yesterday on a post on my Twitter, at Nick Central, where I said, maybe Dolan is falling on the sword for Leon Rose or the rest of the organization, that I don't want to pay the tax, quote unquote. But meanwhile, we just didn't want Mitch back, and we don't want Leon Rose or the rest of the team to take the bullet for that. And everybody hates Dolan already, and meanwhile, he saved some money in the process, so we'll take another bullet for the team. And he's also super loyal. This guy was loyal to Isaiah Thomas, so I just imagine somebody who won him a championship or was about to win him a championship when he said those things. Sure. So I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I guess it's possibly feasible. It does seem like a little more coping from my perspective of
fan fiction.
2 weeks ago, this guy was God and you have to re-sign him. And now it's like, let's figure out a way to make ourselves not feel as bad about it. I think it just simply comes down to the NBA rules make it very difficult and the Knicks have done an excellent job, obviously, of acquiring talent on first level, second level, third level, all over the place, and that's why they won a championship, because they were so deep in particular, and one of those reasons was Mitchell Robinson. And at some point, the way contracts work and the timing works, you just can't sign everybody, and it's just impossible. And at the end of the day, it is a business, and because it's the Celtics, it sucks even more because of the team that it is. There's only so much friendship vibes that can go around, but at the end of the day, when you want to make $1 bajillion, you do what you got to do. And from his perspective, the Celtics are a team. Now, they made a bizarre trade a day or two later when they dealt for Paul George.
Yeah,
and gave up, arguably their best player in Jaylen Brown. But they're a team still with Jason Tatum that's going to win games, right? Like Mitch is going to a team that's going to win. They're not in a rebuild mode or a tank mode. He's going to a team that he's going to get paid. He's going to have significant minutes, and he's going to win basketball games. And at the end of the day, it's like I'm sure it's awesome being a Knick. I'm sure there's nothing like it when you win in New York City. But money rules, man. I'm sorry.
No, I get it.
It does. Like it does. Let me tell you something. If I had a chance to be a New York Knick and somebody gave me $30 million, fucking do it. Like, give me a break. Come on. So that's
orange
it.
blue skies, Mike. They'll be like orange blue skies.
and it sucks. I mean, I'm sure it sucks, but you got your title, and now these are just casualties of it. That's why I saw like the Shamet signing is good in the intermediate, but he's not going to age well. He's injury prone. I think that contract eventually will be a pain in the ass. And I now think for the Knicks, you obviously need a backup center because you just can't have Cat. What they want to figure out, but it's really their free agency move now is find a backup center or somebody that can fill that void. They won't, and from my perspective, it will be a lot of fun seeing him as a Celtic coming into the Garden. Will be good theater.
Yeah, no, for sure. And
especially when, I just want to say this.
Yeah,
go ahead. Mike Brown does hack a Mitch. Will be fun.
I would hate that, honestly. I hate the hack.
I mean, he might.
I feel like we should call it in the sidebar. We should call it Hack a Shack, just even if it's a different player, because it's the Hack a Shack, right. and that's what flows with the hack.
Shaq made it when they counted.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like it flows and it rhymes, and that's why it was called Hack a Shack. Like call it Hack a Mitch, Hack a Drummond, Hack a this. It doesn't flow. Like we should just coin the term Hack a Shack. But anyway,
well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
it'll be
totally.
Good theater.
It's more of a general statement. Like I hate that. But
appreciate the sidebar.
But I hear what you're saying. I just think like Mitch, he's funny on social media. It's fun. Like, he's, everybody's bugging out about, where's he going to sign? What is he going to do? Meanwhile, he's just posting things on IG, shirtless, singing Adele, driving. Like, it's funny. And now it's just, it's maybe it is coping like you're saying. Like, I'll totally respect that point and take that into consideration. But now he's putting out on different posts on Instagram with all the players. OG Anunoby posted a crying emoji when Mitch was saying goodbye, or wherever he posted it on, I don't know. And then Mitch responded, "I tried, brother. I didn't want this to happen. Hopefully the truth comes out at some point. I'm going to miss you, big dog. Keep being great." When I hear something like that, I'm like, don't say something that you're not going to say something. Don't say that you're going to say something, but you're not going to say something. Like, just don't say anything, or say something. You know what I'm saying? Don't say that you're not going to say something. Then you're just being Porzingis, and you're being Randall, where the truth will come out. It's like, what truth, man? Like, the truth is that they didn't want to go over the second apron, and you didn't want to take the less money that would fit under the second apron, which is fine. And that's what happened. And they didn't want to trust you because you haven't played more than 20 minutes a game, which is true. I mean, he's a massive weapon that the Knicks needed to win that championship, and that they would need for next season. And it's a massive hole in the roster now. Like, don't get me wrong, but
playoffs. For the playoffs, most importantly, too.
Yeah, exactly. And you need the depth in the playoffs, especially when Towns is always in foul trouble. You need that starting level center to come in. And on top of that, you lose Huck Porty in the same day to the Sixers. So you lose them both to rival teams. That's tough to swallow. If you still had Huck Porty, you're like, all right, let's see what this kid's got. Now he's got his opportunity, played well in the finals in his few minutes. You're like, whatever. But it hurts to lose him. Don't get me wrong. But if you look at it from the Knicks' perspective, and this is why I feel like Dolan might have fallen on the sword, it's like you're a little immature with your social media posts. You're now crying on social media about this. You had your mental health struggles during the finals and the playoffs, like, and you openly admitted that, and I totally respect that. But then you do something to risk the entire run, you know what I'm saying, by punching a wall, hurting it in a bowling ball, whatever effing theory that you can think of, and the Knicks know what happened. And Mike Brown was clearly upset about that, because if he wasn't upset about that, he wouldn't have said those things. And it kind of, the pieces kind of come together afterwards, where maybe Dolan's like, you know what, man? And Leon Rose, and like I've been saying also, like, they knew for months that they were going to stay under the second apron. They didn't just find out on WFAN, with Carton and Big Mac, they knew that they were going to stay under the second apron, and they were probably trying to maneuver it to keep Mitch. But then when he punches the wall, and they're like, you know what, we can't pay this guy now. We can't trust him. In the biggest moment of our lives, he doesn't trust himself. Like, I think there's a lot to that.
I don't think, even if whatever, all these theories just comes down to money. And even if he was the perfect angel, and went to church before every single game and was, doing everything the right way. Like, it just comes down to money. And that's it.
Right,
And the Knicks are a casualty of being good. This happens to all the this has happened to all the good teams that have good players. They just can't sign them all. The second apron thing, like it's a real, it's real. And to your first point about the social media stuff, I don't care if you are an athlete, you are a millionaire. At the end of the day, you are a human being, and human beings do silly things. And it doesn't matter if it's high school. It doesn't matter if it's a job where you're making $45,000 a year. It doesn't matter if you're working at a fast food restaurant.
Now you sound like you're preaching.
Emotions are emotions, and when you're sensitive and your feelings are hurt, and you're not as mature, you can go to social media and write things like that because he knows he can't say publicly everything, but he also wants to get his feelings out, so he does it in that manner, and that's how he did it. I told you this via text, like, to me, like, the way Jaylen Brunson, just none of this bullshit ever happens.
Yep.
Like, at the highest of levels, like, to me is why the Knicks won. It all stems from that. It's like none of this crap. So I do respect that about him. But no, the Knicks move on. They'll need to find a backup center. We'll see what happens there. We'll talk about the Nets in a second, but we'll use Jaylen Brown as kind of the bridge to get there as he goes to the Philadelphia 76ers. Paul George goes back to Boston. 2 picks are then shuffled over to the Celtics as well in the deal. And man, like, I saw that, and my first instant reaction was I was pissed at the Nets because they could have had a deal with Michael Porter Jr. naming the amount of draft picks you want from their own stash, from the Denver Nuggets first-round pick that they have coming up, from the 3 New York Knicks first-round picks they have coming up. They also have the Sixers pick next year that's protected 1 to 9. So you assume the Sixers are not going to be in the lottery unless something horrific happens with injuries. They're obviously a team that's looking to contend. Look at all of these draft picks they have. They couldn't pull off that deal to get Jaylen Brown here, and I was pretty pissed. But then the more I settled down and thought about it, and I do think this is real, there's no way in hell he was playing for Joe Tsai. And everything that had happened with Kyrie Irving and Brown are close. I just think that was an impossible sell to get him to Brooklyn based on ownership. Never was going to happen. I do think that is real, especially with the personality of Jaylen Brown and how he feels about certain topics and the way that and who the Nets ownership is. No way in hell he was ever coming to Brooklyn. And once I kind of calmed down about that, I don't think there was ever even an option for Sean Mark to make that kind of trade because JB would not want to be a Net.
And I have a question for you, though. Well, first, I have a joke that was Stavros Halkias at Stabby Baby on Twitter. He has like a Netflix show. He's obviously pretty famous. Fat rascal. He wrote, mere hours into his stint as a double agent, and Mitchell Robinson has already begun destabilizing the Boston Celtics from within. Like right after the Jaylen Brown trade, I was like, I died laughing. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah. But anyway, if you know that him and Kyrie are close, and you know that Jaylen Brown is basically Kyrie Jr., he cries about everything on social media, everything. He can never take the high road over anything that happens in his public life. He's always talking about it. He's been very open about other things that we've talked about on the show about being anti certain things, like, feels like anti-Jew, anti-Israel, this. Remember the fraternity that marched to Barclays Center that was saying, we're the real Israelites, and Jews are like, okay, right. Like, you believe that? That's fine, but like they had to do that, and he posted on Twitter like, yeah, whatever, like, good job, and then he realized like he was getting heat, and he was like, oh, I thought there was something else, and it's like, okay, right. Bro. And, the Nets probably don't want to deal with that shit. You know what I mean? Why would they want to deal with that? And why would you? Why would you want to deal with that Kyrie Jr. again? I get you want to win, but like, it's not. It's not going to work. I mean, I don't know. And especially you're this far away. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I just was looking at it straight from a talent perspective of trying to get better and win. And,
it's not only about talent, though, sometimes. You know what I mean? And that's why Jaylen Brown's went for so little. He's got so much money on the contract, and he's got these off the court crying. I'm sure owners don't want that crap.
It's a combination, Alex. When the last 3 years of being a Net fan has been awful.
It has.
I mean, it has been awful. Like, let me put it this way. Kevin Durant demanded a trade in the summer. Was the same day that Jaylen Brunson signed with the Knicks. Happened on the same day, and literally on that day, the two ships in the night went like this. They
Drove by the fork of the road and went straight. Yeah.
Since that day, and, it's been like this on both sides, right?
Yes.
It hasn't been a straight line. But since that day, basically the organizations have gone in two separate directions. This is the first time in a long time. I'm not saying the Nets are going to be a playoff team by any stretch next season, but they're going to try to win basketball games. They've added Julius Randle. Michael Brown Jr. is their point guard of the future. Yegor Dioman is in his second year. They have all of their rookies now going into their second year. They signed actual NBA players. Like, they're not tanking. They have a coach that a lot of Net fans feel is very good in Jordi Fernandez. Let's see what it's like when he gets to coach and win. Like when he hasn't been able to do that, unfortunately.
To
try. There's been times when they did try, they did win games, and then Net fans were upset. They're going to try to win games. So for the first time in a long time, I'm excited about trying to win again. So that feeling of, man, we get Jaylen Brown.
Sorry to laugh. Yeah,
we're still not a contender. We're not a contender per se, but we're a playoff team in the mix, right? Like if you had Michael Brown Jr., Yegor Dioman, Jaylen Brown, Julius Randle, like, okay, that maybe is a team that can win some basketball games. Just a disappointment in that, but I think potentially, to your point, long term, yes. Ultimately, all of those flags would have reared their ugly head again, and it wouldn't have gone to fruition for what they want. And, for the Nets, I think they are they have these treasure trove of draft picks. And as you can see, in the league, it's less about like using the picks to select players, which it is. Like ultimately that's what happens. But as you can see, it's just a weapon in trades. So that, let's say, for example, the Minnesota Timberwolves are going through something right now. Like, this is a team that is desperate to make sure Anthony Edwards is all good, right? They traded Julius Randle to the Nets. They just traded for LaMelo Ball, which has ceiling and floor all written all over it. Like, this could be the funnest thing you've ever seen. Or,
he's a loser.
Holy shit, this is a disaster.
Yeah.
Like, what happens in a year from now?
Yeah.
Things go south with LaMelo. Anthony Edwards is like, I'm done, man. Get me out of here. And then the Nets, who had one more year, they win 36 games with this roster. Yegor develops more. Michael Brown Jr. is a really good point guard. And they go, all right, Minnesota, we're going to give you the Denver unprotected in 2031. Jokic didn't re-sign his contract. Denver could be shit in 2 years. We have all of our picks. We'll give you 2 Knicks picks. We're going to give you 5 first-round draft picks. Let's get Anthony Edwards. That's their plan, man. And then continue to develop within. And they didn't want to break the bank for Jaylen Brown. But again, I'm just looking forward to, just want to see some winning basketball. And the Nets signed Keon Ellis, Wagner get away from
the worst Wagner. Yeah, not the good Wagner, the other Wagner.
And let me talk about him for a second. I know Net fans were bitching about not getting a center, but at the same time, they were also like, look at the center market and what people paid. Oh my God. Like, you had to break look what the Lakers did. Like, it's insane. Yeah. I wouldn't want to do that. I'd rather have a stopgap for a year than spend a bajillion dollars
on Walker
Kessler and giving all these first round drafts.
He's good, but he's not worth that.
But that's the problem is
yeah.
like if you made the Mikal trade and then in return that's what you got back from it, that'd be horrible.
And the Knicks win a championship and that's what you end up with. Like, what are we doing?
You gotta wait on it. So there's just stopgap players, and I think for the Nets, they're doing what the Knicks did in 2019. They've got their second year guard at the 2. They've got their rookie point guard that everybody's excited about, and then they've got veteran forwards and MPJ and Julius Randle. And they're just filling out a bench and hoping that the second year guys step up, and Ben Soroff, Nolan Traore, Danny Wolf, Drake Powell. And you just continue to develop. And to me, if the Nets have any future here, it's these young guys. They got to be good, and hopefully they are good, so they can be traded for other guys, or just be good internally. Because if they suck, Sean Marks should be fired right away.
And, a few things on what you said. I totally hear you. It's 2019 Knicks all over again. You miss out on the big guy, which I didn't want Durant once he got hurt, and I was on record with that. And then I was so happy that they pivoted and didn't panic and throw big money at another player just to save face, like they kind of did in 2010 with getting Amari, just to get somebody, just in case they didn't get LeBron, and what, I forgot my point, but the point was the Knicks in 2019, they just added guys like Julius Randle, Bobby Portis, Elfrid Payton, Reggie Bullock. Like, they just got professional basketball players on the roster. And yeah, that first year they still weren't good, but the next year when they got Tibbs, they were a playoff team. You know what I mean? And, they had RJ Barrett, who was the kid, and they had Quickly, and they just like built up the team. They brought in, brought in Taj Gibson the next year, and Noel, and like, all right, like now we got a professional basketball team. And that's what you have to do in order to develop the younger players. Because do you think guys like RJ Barrett, Quickly, Deuce McBride, Mitchell Robinson develop if they're on these terrible teams? Of course not. Like, Deuce McBride had guys like Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose to mentor him when he was a kid, not playing at all. And after games when they play the Hornets, and Kemba Walker's an assistant coach there now, Deuce McBride goes directly to Kemba Walker every time and daps him up, gives him a hug. I remember this because my boy Jimmy is a diehard UConn fan, so I always send him this picture after a game. Like, look, Deuce loves Kemba, so I remember this distinctly because of him. Shout out to Jimmy. And, I also feel that, like, for you guys, it's nice to feel feelings again as a Nets fan. Yeah. Like, we're trying. Like, it's not like, a tanking team, and I've been there, so I could totally get it.
Yeah.
And, if your kids and your rookies, the 5 first-round picks, or the guys this year, if they can't beat out guys like Mo Wagner for a spot, then they stink. And you find out now, And it is what it is. And another thing that I think this Jaylen Brown trade created is a mess in Boston, as we know. Their entire staff could be gone in 2 years, and somebody named Jason Tatum could be on the block in 2 years. And that's who you go for, and that's who you throw the whole kit and caboodle for. And then you might have one of these guys developed around him, or you still have Porter, or you still have, who knows? And then that's the guy you can get. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you need guys who have talent and get paid something so you can trade for a guy like that. Even if you have 1,000 picks, you can't just take on a guy. No one's going to want just 1,000 picks for Jason Tatum, that, or a guy like that, or like Anthony Edwards, like you're saying. Like, then you're looking for something while you're rebuilding. You're also creating space for you to get somebody. Yes. And it might be a middle guy like Jalen Brunson, like the Knicks got, and they got lucky that he turned out to be this guy, this incredible player. But you got to make smart trades and trade your kids for, another, like, or you don't. You know what I mean? Like, the Knicks model was trading RJ Barrett and Quickly for OG Anunoby. Like, you don't know if you can get a thing like that. I don't know. Now you have avenues to do those things, is my point.
Yeah, and I think the problem, too, is that, right now the hot topic would be, the trendy topic would be the Knicks model. Right. But then every year a different team for the last 8 years has won a championship. All of them have some form of truth that's the same or different, a different way. There's no one way exactly to build, and they all come together in different circumstances. All of them need a little bit of luck. All of them have shrewd decision making that works out. But there's not one exact science to how this happens. Like, let's look at the Oklahoma City Thunder model. Now let's look at the Knicks model. Let's look at the Denver Nuggets model. Like, the Denver Nuggets model is, let's draft a guy in the second round and have him be the best player in the NBA. Like, oh yeah, that's easy. Like, there's just not one exact science to how to do this. But you're right. For the Nets, it's build get talent, and I heard a good point from Chris Carino, Nets radio play-by-play. It's like, the year before, Nets fans were like, oh, you got to play the rookies to let them develop. There's also, you could have development by playing with better players and seeing who gets, like, the cream of the crop rises. Like, let's see who can play and who can't. Like, now we're trying to win basketball games. Can you play? Can you play for winning? And that's development too, not just tanking bullshit. Like, going in there and can you win in basketball games that matter? And that's where you learn who's going to be on this roster and who is not going to be on this roster. And this is a critical year in development for the Nets, beyond belief. Rookie year, you get your footing set. Now you've been in the league for a year. Can you play or can you not play? And let's see what happens. And you're right, Alex. There's feelings again. I mean, it's been so bleak for the last couple of years, basically since the second year with Bridges, when he was checked out and the team just was bad. Now at least there's a foundation to move forward. We'll see what happens. And of course, the Nets Summer League game is Saturday at 5:00. Tough spot to watch.
DVR.
But it's on
DVR
the,
spot.
It's on the Gotham app. So basically, when I go to bed Saturday night, I will rewatch.
Don't waste your July 4th weekend, guys, on the Nets Summer League.
But it's it's exciting because they're
it is, but playing. It's the Summer League, guys. Like, have a life.
But they're playing the Kings. And Acuff.
Oh, your boy that you wanted, that everybody wanted.
Me, I didn't care. I mean, I would have.
But that Stephen A. Smith and Adam Shine and all these people said, you folded as a franchise because you didn't draft this kid. Right. Yeah, no.
So of course that's the first game. So I'm like, oh God, really?
To make a Knicks,
he could go for 31 in some Summer League game because what happens now is like Adam Shine, for example, is now invested.
Yep.
In Acuff doing better, not because he actually cares.
Nope.
About who has a better career, but he cares about his points being right.
Yeah.
So now, let's say he goes for 27 in some, Brown goes for 7, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And, Acuff goes up for 72 in a Summer League game. It's like, here's another, I was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
The one team I probably did not want
that's
to
why
see
they did it. Yeah, no, I mean.
Of course, it's smart. It's smart. I get it.
I'm laughing or smiling while you're saying that because you sound exactly like me 7 years ago. You know what I mean? The media just worries about their own personal agenda, and that's why they're forcing this down your throat. Like, what the Knicks did was bad, and even 5 years later, when the Knicks are starting to win, they're like, they stink. They're never going to win a championship. They're the Knicks, and they made the wrong moves by trading Porzingis, and meanwhile Porzingis on his third team at the time. It's just like, what are you talking about? It's just like. Just admit to being wrong, and it's just silly. So that's why I was laughing a little bit.
No,
but
it's okay.
I feel like it also reminded me, where I almost cut you off, was the one thing that was really cool about Summer League in a positive way, which could work in your favor, was when the Knicks got so much like shit, and rightfully so at the time, because it was like a crazy pick for picking Porzingis and over Moutier and all these other players. Like, nobody knew. And the fans went crazy, and whatever. Like, you tank and you end up with what was it, the 4th pick, and you got Porzingis, and you miss out on Okafor. First game, the Knicks are playing Okafor, and Porzingis gets the ball at the top of the key, holds the ball low, and just pulls up and nails it right in his face, and you're just like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like, Knicks fans were like, we all sat up in our chairs like, okay, this kid's got some moxie here, And he ended up having Porzingis is not an all-time great, but he's definitely had a way better career than Okafor. So, you know what I mean? So you never know what can happen if you end up with a Porzingis level talent with Brown. Like, you'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? So
no. I mean, if Porzingis didn't have injury issues, he would have been a perennial all-star.
And a Knick for life. Yeah,
he just got hurt so much.
Yeah.
That he could never do it. Now you're making me think of media people, because this is one that is just very funny to me. There's like the Zach Lowe's of the world, and I'll keep calling them out because it's fun.
Who cares? Yeah.
But it'll be, oh man, like I've heard from every indication that these Nets rookies just are not good. Like, all my people say that they're just not good. It's like, Zach, and then it'll be like, at the same breath, I won't watch Net games. I can't watch it. Barclays Center, horrible place to watch basketball. So it's
which is not true. Yeah.
But it's like, so you don't watch the Nets, but you have an opinion on all their players. Explain to me how that works, because it's a friend.
Pick a lane.
It's like it's a GM that hates the Nets, feeds you information, and then you say it. But then in the same breath, you won't say you watch them play. Like, if you're going to be very strong about a player's ability, good or bad, and you haven't watched them play, I can't respect your opinion. At least if you've watched, maybe ultimately you're not right, or you are, but at least you watched them play. Like, how can you have such strong opinions about people and you don't watch them play?
Yeah.
To me, that's just such a hypocritical double standard. It doesn't work.
I get it.
I don't think he's good because he doesn't defend, or I don't think he's good because in the pick and roll. I don't think he's good because ultimately in crunch time, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think he's good, but I don't watch him? I mean, come on, man.
No, I get that. And for Knicks fans right now, we were talking about this before the show in our pre-production meeting. The Knicks, Chris Haynes puts out this. So the Knicks are looking for bigs now, and Chris Haynes puts out this tweet, which is clearly an exaggeration, Knicks for clicks kind of a thing. The Knicks have been feverishly, that's a direct quote, feverishly trying to trade for Yev's Missy. And it's like, all right, like, what does feverishly mean?
Well, the funniest part of that tweet too is on the headline in the graphic. It says rejected
in large letters on his picture of Missy. Like, what are we doing?
Just because, do you know how many? Okay, let's say for every one trade that goes down, I bet you 49 are rejected.
Oh my God, of course, yeah.
They're all rejected. Like, that's just how you call. Right. Hey, this is the offer. They say no. You're rejected. You renegotiate, and then sometimes
you're rejected again.
Comes together, but you don't just. There's never a trade, I'm sure, on the first time. Like, hey, I got an offer for you. Maybe it happens occasionally, but all trades.
Maybe the Sixers said, "Oh yeah."
For every one, oh God, yeah.
Instant accept. Yeah, no, I get it.
Can we talk about the Sixers for a second? And then we can close out. They might be kind of like, are they good? I mean, they're not, because Embiid will do. It's just.
Yeah,
ultimately,
they got a lot of guys.
But they're with Edgecombe, who had a very good rookie year, clearly is ascending. You feel excited about that. With Maxey, who's got his
Simon's on the bench now,
and Brown, like, that's a hell of a trio. Not assuming even Embiid doesn't play. The Sixers got a lot, but they got a. And you
shed Paul George,
yeah, they shed his contract. Like, you would have been happy if they traded Paul George and got just back like a guy with 1 year left on his deal, that nobody.
Right.
But you could shed money. They got back an All NBA guy. And we talked about Brown and some of the things with him, but like I don't think the Sixers. I think Jaylen Brown on that roster versus the Knicks last year in the playoffs don't get swept. I'm saying they're winning, but they got better.
Yeah, they got better, but I'm as a Knicks fan, I'm still not concerned. Obviously, I want to fix the big man, but I trust in Leon Rose that he's going to find somebody on the bench. You can't.
Or by the playoffs.
Just in general, I feel like they're going to figure it out. Like, I've doubted him before, and they put a pelt on the wall. You know what I'm saying? How can I, between Leon Rose and James Dolan, how can you not trust these guys? And I get the Dolan PTSD, but it's like, guys, let it go. Like, this guy's won a championship now as an owner. Like, he's shown that he could do it. Like, why are we talking about Trump or like what happened 20 years ago? Like, let it go. They won. But anyway. I do feel that the Sixers are going to be good. They're going to be better, but they're not going to beat the Knicks. They're not going to be better than in a couple. Like I said, Embiid is the factor, and they can't get rid of him. He's an all-time legend for the franchise, and fan favorite, and nobody's going to want him. And they are dynamic in the backcourt right now between Maxey and Edgecombe and Simon's off the bench and Jaylen Brown. Like, what? Like, this is insane. But I just the roster's a little flawed. It's it's uneven. So like the offseason isn't over yet, so they can still do some things, So we'll see. And it's still hard to be like, this team is the favorite now. Like, a lot can happen from now until the start of the season. Like the Towns trade with the Timberwolves with the Knicks happened like a week before training camp. So things can happen. But I think the Sixers are gonna be good. But I don't think that they're. We'll see how it all gets together. It's going to take them time to gel, my favorite term, but we'll see. I mean, it's just funny how all these trades work out. Like we were saying with the feverishly thing with Chris Haynes. It's like the Knicks have like very top heavy roster now. Their top 7 guys, between Towns, OG, Brunson, Mikal Hart, Alvarado is here, and then they have 3 guys that they could trade, which is Deuce, Daddiot, and Kolek. It's just like they probably want to shed Daddiot and all these second round picks that they got, but nobody wants that guy because he hasn't played. So why would they want to trade? So why would the Pelicans want to give up Missy, who's a 21-year-old first round pick who's developing and looks like a good shot blocker, and for your trash? Like, why would I want that for some second round picks? Like, for what reason? They probably want Deuce, and the Knicks said no, and then the Knicks said, here's Daddiot and like 7 second round picks. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
the first round pick. It's just, what are we doing?
Here's the thing about Deuce too, is like, this is the last year on his contract. He's not
gone.
Coming back.
No,
I mean,
so run it back one more year with him, and then say goodbye. That's all.
This is the last year of his 3-year, $13 million contract.
He's getting $3.9 million this year,
which was an incredible value for the Knicks. But now you're Deuce. You've won a championship. You assume he's going to have another large bench role here.
Right.
When he's a free agent, he's going to make $15 million a year.
Easy. He could start around like half the teams in the NBA. He could start. Yeah.
Teams are going to take a bit like, okay, here's a guy that was behind an all NBA guard in Brunson, so obviously couldn't get starting minutes. He's not. Let's take our chance on a 25-year-old. Like the Knicks will not. And maybe
he's shown flashes of being really good. Yeah.
I don't know how the contract situations will work in a year, but logically it tells me that a year from now the Knicks wouldn't be able to afford Deuce McBride.
Oh, and Shamet they have too. I forgot about Shamet.
It doesn't feel like that's something that will be possible based on what his expectation will be. I would be pretty surprised if he's back. He's not taking a discount next year. Ain't happening.
No, he's
going to want to get paid, as he should. Like, this, you can't be. I'm not riding three. I'm going to turn down all this money. So,
right.
I think that's interesting though, just from a trade perspective to look at in the future with the Knicks, like at the deadline. What happens if they know? I don't know. Just something to keep in mind.
Well, Shamet, I forgot to mention also they have him, and he took a discount to stay. You know, he had some loyalty to the Knicks. Like he was a two-way guy, like for the last 2 years, and the Knicks took a chance on him and brought him back and gave him a huge role. Even when he got hurt, they kept him around the facility. You know, and 2 years ago, and they took care of him, and then they re-signed him, and like he has a tremendous amount of loyalty to the Knicks, and I'm not surprised he took less to stay. What this is his home. He won a championship. He probably wants to settle. He's like, all right, man, I've been around the block and I know what it's like to be on a team or just to be out of the league, basically. And this is my home. So I get that. But Deuce McBride is definitely going to cash in. I mean, he got paid before he started playing. The Knicks extended him like they did with Diawara. That's another guy I forgot. But Diawara, they're not going to trade him. They just signed him. The point is like guys that they're going to trade. But Deuce McBride signed that 4-year extension and he didn't play at all yet. And now he's the best contract in the league. And the most underpaid player in the league based on his performance to what he's making. It's insane. So he's going to get paid. And it's sad because I love Deuce McBride. I love Mitchell Robinson. These are our guys. And now Deuce McBride is the longest tenured Knicks player, so I get it. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. What can we do? I don't know. I forgot my point. But it's just...
He's going to go sign somewhere else and make money. Just like... Yeah, I mean,
well, how could you not? I mean,
he's going to make $3.9 million this year.
Yeah, it's insane.
Karl Anthony Towns is going to make $57 million.
Well, that's the thing. It's like Towns on his extension, he has to take a discount if they're going to make it all work. And I'm not talking about like for Towns. It's like, the point I was trying to make before is that before I get into that, Mitchell Robinson, people are saying, I wanted to get this in here. Mitchell Robinson are saying like, this is his one chance to get paid. Mitchell Robinson has to cash in. This is his second big contract. You know what I mean? He just got off a 4-year, like $60-something million deal. Yeah. It's not like he's making $1 million a year or $3 million a year like Deuce McBride. Like he's been getting paid. Okay, so let's relax on that. You know what I'm saying? Like this isn't like he got to cash in your only chance. Like no, this is his second chance, his second only chance. Okay, but there's that. And now with Deuce McBride, like this is his only chance, not his only chance. This is his first chance. So he's gonna go get paid, and the Knicks are not gonna be able to do it, especially if Towns takes all the money and Jaylen Brunson takes all the money, and both those guys deserve to take every last cent. I get it, but if they take a slight haircut and just make it work and keep rolling and they want to stay here, I mean, obviously Brunson's going to stay here. The Knicks are going to do everything they can to keep Brunson. Towns, we love him, won the title, but if they lose Towns and they keep Brunson, I mean, that's a trade every Knicks fan is going to make every 10 times out of 10. So if you had to choose one, it's obviously Brunson. He's the team. But I just, there's a lot going on here, and like I said earlier, they didn't just find out about these mandates and the second apron and whatever, the quote-unquote mandates of the second apron on WFAN. They have been planning this out for months. They have a 2 or 3 year plan of what they want to do. Sure, things can get thrown in there, a monkey wrench, like Hartenstein, like getting this big offer and leaving. I don't know. It's just...
it's sports. Things change. That's why the Nets do have all these picks.
They do.
And you don't care, but I mean, I do. Like, I have to care.
No, I mean, they do have a lot of picks, I was saying.
They have three coming up, man. It is weird when you look at these stats, because I was just curious to look at them. And, you see, like, in 27-28, Mitchell Robinson has a player option for $61 million. That's 1 year. That's unbelievable.
Right.
This is not always not worth the value. I'm just saying, like,
no, it's crazy.
That's $61 million.
You got the super duper max from the Timberwolves, yeah.
Just kind of keeping in mind, like, and like, you think as an adult with 2 kids, and you're thinking about like saving money and thinking
Paying
about their
bills,
future.
mortgage,
I'm
and
just
this. Yeah.
whoa, $61 million.
Right, and then it's like, all right,
change
bro.
your life.
Yeah, it's like you're asking Towns to take a little haircut. It's like you're gonna go from making $60 million a year. Why don't you just take 50? It's like,
Still
you know what I
10
mean?
million though, man.
I know, but you're like his career earnings. What are Towns' career earnings? You know what I mean? It's just how much can you like? I get you want to make all the money you can, but is it about money? Do you want to be Carmelo Anthony, or do you want to be? I know Melo's a legend. Like, don't get me wrong, but do you want to be Carmelo Anthony, or do you want to win 4 titles? And then you're going to be the guy who's got long-term money on top of being super duper rich. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have this great fiance, you have like a great life. You know what I'm saying? You've made. Let me see. Hold on, I'm almost up to it. Career earnings. Let me click this. Career earnings through 2026. Do you want to guess how much money Towns has made on just his contracts, not his his advertisements, his commercials?
How many years in the league?
11 years in the league.
11 years in the league. So the rookie one for the first 4, let's say he made 30, and then the back 7, I'll say 290.
Wow, 285. That was pretty good. That was really good.
Ask my wife. Guessing numbers, I'm very good at like being around the number. Yeah, I did not look.
It's crazy because he went, obviously the rookie's contract. They'll do this really quick. 5.7, 5.9, 6.2, 7.8. Then he started getting paid 25.5, 29.4, 31.6, 33.8, 36 million, 49.2, and then a $50,000 NBA Cup bonus. And then 53.1, and then a
$50,000 cup.
Yeah, and then 53.1, and a $530,000 NBA Cup bonus. So it's just that's just insane. Like, I just, to me, it's like, okay, you want to get the $50 million a year, you're gonna get $57 million this year in 2026, and then $61 million in 2027 with a player option. It's just, okay, I know you want to make every dollar, and I know it's your life, and I get it, but if you just take 40 to 50, I can't fathom this.
People's money, man.
But like, don't you care about like being home? He's from around the area. He's got a great fiance who's soon as to be his wife. I'm sure he's going to want to start a family.
You're coping again.
I'm not coping. I just don't understand. Why would you want to blow all of that up? You also won a championship. You're now a made man in New York City for life.
I can't talk about the Knicks, and I can't.
I don't get it. I don't get why you wouldn't take a little less. I'm not saying to go for the mid-level exception. I'm not saying that. I'm saying from 65 million to 55 or 45. Like, I don't get why you wouldn't do something like that.
Get in my tax bracket. You'll get it.
I don't understand. Honestly, I don't understand. Whatever.
Well, let's wrap things up. This is Bad Weather Fans, episode 309. Looking forward to Saturday. Again, probably will be a tough spot to watch.
Big summer league game. Yeah, no.
But it is, the Nets are rolling out their starting backcourt with Yegor, Michael Brown. By the way, it's like, because the Nets had Mikel for so long, my brain wants to just always go there.
I know, me too, and it's a B too. B first letter in the last name also. It's very confusing.
But no, I'm excited to see Traore hurt, so he won't be playing. But to see the guys play, and I'm looking for more excited for this game than most of the ones from the second half, at least, of last year. So we'll see what happens on that front. We'll report back. But this has been Bad Weather Fans, episode 309. Alex, we'll sign off, and we'll put this on the internet for people to watch. But good episode. We'll see what other free agency signings happen. I guess the big one out there still is LeBron James, where he ends up going. If it's Cleveland, maybe he's going to Boston, and that's why they made the trade.
Dude,
I don't know.
Don't get LeBron. That's all I have to say. Knicks, don't do it. Even a vet minimum, don't do it. Don't do it. I know it's the last. We're ending the show, but like, don't do it. LeBron, he's going to be traveling around with a documentary film crew. Don't do it. Like, it's just going to blow the entire fucking thing up.
It'll be a sideshow.
And that's what you would love that. You would love that. Knicks' first summer league game, July 10th versus the Nets, just so you know that.
Do you think, let me ask you this one question. Do you think the Nets beat the Knicks this year? They end this streak of nonsense and get one win.
It depends if the Knicks take the Nets game seriously, because there could be a game where
Randall's going to be into that.
He is.
For sure.
He is. But that doesn't mean much.
It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. I think.
I'm
they
not
get
afraid
one
of
this
Julius
year.
Randle. Yeah, no, I get it.
I think they get one this year and end this.
It's
nonsense.
possible. I mean, yes. Now they have a better chance this year than they did last year. You know, obviously.
Well, they were. I mean, yikes.
No, and the Knicks summer league, they play the Nets on the 10th, the Spurs on the 11th, the Pistons on the 13th, and the Warriors on the 16th. And the only guys that are really worth watching are Tyler Nickel was a second round pick, one of those guys, and Daddy is going to be playing. So they're going to be showcasing Pacome out there to try to trade him. You know what I mean? So root for Pacome, Knicks fans, and let's see what happens. But, whatever, man. I don't know.
All right. This has been Bad Weather Fans episode.
We just won a championship. Be happy. Let's be happy. We just won a literal championship.
Yeah. It's what I was saying, man. Like, I can't tell you, like, how much this was the Knicks winning the title was the best thing that could happen to me. It really was.
See, that's coping.
No, that is not coping. That's being honest.
Yeah. You realize it wasn't so bad. It took the edge off. Yeah,
it took the edge off. Yeah. Now I'd just be like, oh, this guy. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, your hate dissipated a little bit.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And then also the anxiety of watching these games. Like, I don't give a fuck what you do.
Right. I saw it already.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
It took the anxiety away from me too. Where with all my teams, where it's like, yeah, I want them to win. I'm hurt. Like I losing Mitchell Robinson, and that's making me concerned for next season. But I'm still happy.
But it is interesting though, from a team perspective, if they lose their edge next year. I'm serious. Like, it's hard to repeat because you've kind of done it, and it's easy to take your foot off the gas because you're like,
Well, they can sleepwalk a little bit. Yeah, sleepwalk.
There is some of that could happen.
But the Knicks might want to prove it more and hit the ground running next year and start off 20-3 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then they could take their foot off the gas and chill. You know what I'm saying?
It's a different
we'll
perspective.
see. Yeah.
Bad Weather Fans 309. See y'all later.
Later.